I was made for this, you and I. Our own Genesis, we're alive. It's gonna be big, we're gonna be great. It's gonna be wild, it's gonna be fake. It's gonna be big, it's gonna be great. We're gonna be wild, it's gonna be fake. It's gonna be big, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wild, it's gonna be fake. It's gonna be big, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wild, it's gonna be fake. It's gonna be fake. Like stars in the sky, we were meant to align. Our secret paradise, this place is paradise. Like stars in the sky, we were meant to align. Our secret paradise, this place is gonna be big, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wild, it's gonna be fake. It's gonna be big, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wild, it's gonna be fake. It's gonna be big, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wild, it's gonna be fake. It's gonna be big, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wild, it's gonna be fake. It's gonna be fake. Now is the time. Heartbeat steady and I'm burning inside. And I leave the strobe lights I feel the way. Haunting whispers negotiating my fate. Lost in the shadow fading, now is the time. Heartbeat steady and I'm burning inside. And I leave the strobe lights I feel the way. Haunting whispers negotiating my fate. Lost in the shadow fading, now is the time. Heartbeat steady and I'm burning inside. And I need the strobe lights I feel the way. Haunting whispers negotiating my fate.
I like how Sandra and Sack Deadpool are challenging me on whether we're going to start on time or not.
Who do they think you are, Van?
Right? Also, Van, get well soon, dude.
Yeah, that too. Very, very true.
I mean, he's back home, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But still, need you at full force, buddy.
That we do.
Now I'm like over here looking at the time. Am I going to start on time? Are we going to do this?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Perhaps not.
No guarantees.
It's very true.
We are, however, going to talk a shit ton about scary movies. So, yes.
We are? I don't like scary movies. They're too scary.
No, but that's Sally. That's Sally. You don't scare me.
The scariest thing I watch is Bluey. Oh, wait. That's James.
You know, so I wrote a bunch of new trivia questions. Jeff DeLong helped me with all that. But, like, we wrote a Bluey question, and it's fucking glorious.
Oh, questions for what?
For trivia, when we do trivia outside of at cons and whatnot. All right, guys, it's 6 o'clock. Let's start the show.
Distance nerding.
He's having a stroke.
I am having a stroke. That is a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday, and we're here getting ready to do it all. Oh, my God, what? They're on fucking time. That's true. Flared fucking bass.
What is this even supposed to mean? What is it even supposed to mean?
Flared bass?
No, on time. We're always
on time. Yeah, we're always on time. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We are always exactly the time we mean to be.
Oh, there you go. That's true. We're going to leave it at that. We're on time for what we mean it to be. Also, it's my time is here. My time is now.
John C.
Where'd you go? You became a middle-aged man. Oh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching The Build. We are here. We're getting ready to build some Lego. We've got another illustrious guest on the show. I love that the flared bass joke continues to go on where 90% of my hosts don't know what the fuck that means. And it's great.
Mm-hmm. Inside jokes for the win. Inside
jokes. And part of the reason we came up with that joke is on the show today. So she wasn't a part of it, but the joke was made while we were making fun of somebody in that circle. So so ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not sure she knows that that's how that joke came to be. But we'll ask her when we get her on screen here. Ladies and gentlemen, before we jump into that, of course, this show and everything we do here is brought to you by the good folks over at Dubby. Yeah, the soundboard had a stroke. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? That's right. I got distracted with my own shit.
Of course you did.
Is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg. Use the code nerding10 and get 10% off your order. God, trombone. So I'm talking rusty trombones now. Mm-hmm. We love a good flared bass. Saves us from embarrassing trips to the ER. And then, of course,
meow.
Oh, yeah. I have one question for since I have Say Wong here, since he doesn't show up to my streams. Say Wong, let me know on the Discord real fast when you have a chance what you did for your 2 in the box upgrades for the Ghostbuster stuff. I'm going to start working on that soon, so I just want to get that out there now.
Nice.
So I'm going to start that funness.
Yeah, absolutely. Say Wong said he ran into Van last Saturday. Yes, he is up and about again. I'm happy to hear that he's up and about. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Today's guest is someone I've had the pleasure of hanging out with and getting to know, so we know she's gonna be a weirdo like the rest of us. From filmmaking,
who's weird?
I say us, and I mean like me and James. Yeah. Okay. From filmmaking to cosplaying and just being a general nerd, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show the lovely and talented Renee Olsen.
You're too kind. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
So I was making the joke earlier. Are you familiar with the flared bass and what that all means?
Yeah. Check out my microphone.
Nice.
The bass on that thing. That
is a flare bass,
folks.
That is a flare bass.
Where's that going? Nowhere.
It's not going up a particular person's asshole. That's exactly where it is.
I don't even remember why that came. That ended up being the running gag. But yeah, that poor soul. We love you.
We would never make such jokes here. We keep our Superman kryptonite dildos a secret.
Absolutely, 100%.
God, the kryptonite dildo joke needs to come back, and maybe that is something where the kryptonite dildo gets stuck up Deadpool's ass.
There you
go. There.
I can probably actually find the group chat where that whole thing originated. Let me see if I can actually find it. But
Sandra's saying LeJack started it.
She was there that night. She did start that. So the whole thing was friend of the show, Sack Deadpool, was not at our game night one night. And he said that he had to go to the hospital. I'm sure it was actually something actually serious, but me being the asshole that I am, I just started making jokes about things getting stuck up his ass. Right. So it was more like, I was like, well, just make sure that they properly remove the toy car from your asshole, because it can get stuck, as long as you use the condom or something like that. And my wife, Jackie, goes, well, no, as long as it has a flared base, you're okay.
Facts.
So the running joke from then on was flared base. And I think every stream since then, this is my first time explaining it, and this joke's been going on for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And the truth behind it is he was actually being a really nice guy and coming to my rescue when I needed a little bit of help. I had something going on. I'm not going to go into detail, but yeah, he came to be my knight in shining armor. And what does he get in reward?
Is me relentlessly destroying him with a flared base. No, but like the thing is that had he even told us that was what was going on, I would have made fun of him either way.
Absolutely. I condone these actions.
Right. And it's kind of like, me and Sack Deadpool, our relationship is founded on just weird, butt jokes. So it's just kind of like, just as friends, it's like, well, we both play Deadpool, so why wouldn't we make butt jokes about everything?
Right.
You have to. It's part of the MO. You have to do it. If you can't do it, you can't be Deadpool. I believe that's the rule.
I think it is. I think it's by law in canon, right? You cannot cosplay as Deadpool, at least properly cosplay as Deadpool, without butt jokes.
And if you try to do it, he will show up.
Oh, he
smash your feet because you can't draw them.
Well, that's if Lifeout shows up. Yeah.
He personally shows up to every unsanctioned Deadpool cosplayer.
You know it's funny, and this is before us getting into Anne's whole thing here, but over the weekend, we were at a con in Pasco, Washington, and there was an artist there who is a Deadpool artist. He's actually like done Deadpool comic books and everything. And he sees us all dressed as the Council of Wades. And of course, me being fucking, 100% all in Wade Wilson. He's like, dude, I have to take a picture of this and send it to Rob. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, this wouldn't be the first time Liefeld seen my costume. Liefeld had seen my costume 1,000 times at this point because people are always sending him pictures of it. And we talked to the guy the next day. We were at a con. And he says that because I was like, did he or Jeff was like, did he respond? And he goes, yeah, he just heart emoji did. That's pretty much the most you're ever going to get out of Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, right?
He must be very expressive.
Yeah.
I bet he's a hugger.
But I mean, like the story, when I met him, he walked up to me, put his hand on my shoulder and goes, I don't know if you know who I am. And I'm like, Papa? He just started laughing. Sandra said it wasn't Jeff, it was her, so I'm setting the record straight. And just before we get into the rest of the interview, Squints, I talk to Watson every now and then. I don't know if there's anything that I should have heard in regard to Watson, unless you're just trying to say hi. And the Discord link, I can pop that in the chat for you here in a minute, man. So with that all being said, let's jump into this interview because we haven't formally interviewed you on our show, and it's about time.
Oh, well, I mean, to be fair, I've been busy. I've needed something to be able to talk about, and hey, I'm there.
Yeah, there's plenty to, right? So before we get into your story, before we learn more about you, we've got a segment on the show called Growing Up Geeky. What did you geek out on when you were a kid?
I have a life-size She-Ra doll in my office. I mean, genuinely, literally. She my twin.
Like same height, She-Ra.
Got it. So Transformers, okay.
Obviously.
I'm loving
Ninja Turtle nerd.
I'm also loving the amount of Easter eggs that are in the room right now. Like if you know, Anne, like there's so many inside Anne jokes that are on the screen right now. We're gonna address a lot of these too, but it's so good.
Yeah. So when I was a little kid, in 19, I was watching obsessed with She-Ra, and I begged my parents to get me the Crystal Castle.
Nice.
Okay.
And we went to the store, and it was $50. I mean, damn, $50 whole dollars. So my parents struck me a bargain. They said, Anne, when you can count to 100, we'll buy you the Crystal Castle. So I worked really, really, really hard and got those numbers down. And I practiced and finally reached my goal. My mom takes me to the store, sold out.
No.
Yeah,
and this is how your promo started.
Fast forward 40 something. Fast forward some years. I can count a lot higher than 100 now, and eBay is a thing.
You have the Crystal Castle now.
I do. I have the complete Crystal Castle with all of the accessories. So I don't know how many different She-Ra action figures, but yeah, it's a habit of mine, or a passion of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I get that. I wish, I had the Turtles Technodrome, the sewer play set, the Ghostbusters Firehouse, and then when I turned 12, my dad's like, all right, time to stop being a kid and sell all of it. And I sold my entire collection probably for like $5.
Oh, that's terrible.
And now you're going, oh.
and now the Ghostbusters Firehouse is like $200.
Yeah, The cost of inflation, the $50 back then, I still paid $50 for it with inflation. So it appreciated.
Oh, for sure. That's awesome. It's you fit right in here because Phil's a big nerd. I'm not. I go love sports.
Clearly.
Get that thing to the other thing.
He's like, hey, sports.
Yay, sports.
Go, sports ball.
Awesome.
I'm not going to say that I'm not, because I am a massive sports fan too. So, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm a hockey fan. I like hockey. The San Jose Sharks. That's where it's at.
we'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out back to Squints again. Hey, Squints, check your messenger. I just sent you a link to our Discord server.
Ooh, there you go. So, what else did you geek out on besides She-Ra?
Horror.
Ooh.
Loud and proud. The bloodier the better.
I don't know anything about horror. No.
Nothing at all.
Nothing
What is
at
the
all.
horror you speak of?
It's too scary.
Spooky.
Spooky.
No, horror.
From a guy
Horror
named
is the most
Graveyard.
Horror is the most fascinating because, like Tom Savini said it best, it's where the magic is. You can pull off the most fantastic magic tricks and the greatest illusions. What are you going to dramatically see someone fall in love? No, that's acting. Okay, cool. But where's the creativity? Where's the special effects, the practical effects? Where's the good stuff?
I have to ask, what was your first horror movie?
I don't even remember. I'll say my first favorite horror movie was Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
I classify that as horror. I mean, come on.
Aliens.
Sci-fi horror.
Would you say that I might be an Alien fans with they mostly pod out at night?
Right? No, actually, just my Facebook memory just popped of when I met Carrie Hen. Help me out here.
Newt. Yeah. I don't remember her
I can't remember her last name. I'm dancing around it. Forgive me, fans. I'm sorry. But yeah, she was at one of the conventions that I was modeling at, and I didn't even know that she was there. And coincidentally, I was as a colonial Marine.
Oh.
So it was pretty awesome. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, that was a nerdtastic moment for me.
Yeah. As Taylor said, game over, man. Game over.
Game over, man.
I have a dog named Hudson.
Do you?
I do.
Nice.
I do. Was going to get his litter mate and name him Hicks,
Mm-hmm.
but one puppy is enough.
One puppy's never enough. I have two.
They mostly pod out at night. Mostly.
Right?
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll put a pin in that horror discussion for a little bit, but
we are because we're definitely talking horror tonight.
Yeah, we are. So, Anne, if a film was made about you, who would play you, and what would the genre be?
Oh God.
Definitely better than the way.
It would be a psychological thriller. Who would play me? Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I don't. Anything I say, I feel like is going to sound like egotistical or something, like, because I mean, all of the actresses that I have to choose from are so amazing, and like I can't compete with that.
I can see Deborah Ann Wool.
Okay, yeah, that would translate well.
She's like, that's actually pretty good.
Zach says Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, geez, he would. No, I'm not Reese. No, she's America's sweetheart. I'm America's serial killer.
Nothing wrong with that.
Like a Kristen Bale an option?
Mila Kunis, she was American Psycho too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah.
I think she did too. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, Phil knows my answer. I love my answer. I want to make it happen. I just get every person of different gender and culture to play me at different ages. I'd have a 7-year-old black woman play me as a 5-year-old kid. Awesome. Never call it out the entire movie.
All right. No, that would be entertainment for sure.
And Phil, of course, wants
Ryan Reynolds in effect.
Luis Guzman.
Luis Guzman. Oh my God, I would not have a problem with Luis Guzman. I would not have a problem with Luis Guzman playing me.
Not bad.
Can you make Luis Guzman less Puerto Rican though? Like how?
No, you just got to get more Puerto Rican, Phil.
I guess yeah.
Come on, baila conmigo.
What I'm trying to say right now.
Oh man, I would never forget his line. Comment, Chris. I am your man.
Oh my God. I never thought about that. I was like, oh my God.
Really?
No, I mean like Luis Guzman playing me. I've never thought of that. And it's like, that is fucking genius.
He'd probably do it too.
Luis Guzman will play anything that you give him.
He would.
Not to say that he's a bad actor. He's actually a really good actor. It's just he would play any role you give him.
I could see him playing Rose on a Deadpool-made Golden Girls.
That would also be really good.
So, and all this stuff, and obviously you have your twin there that helped you into the world of cosplay.
Yeah, actually, my favorite movie is what first inspired me to get into cosplay. I will nerd out 100% and watch it over and over again. Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that movie. And Lucy was one of the first powerful redheads that I saw, in cinema and, particularly in genre or in the horror genre when I was a child. And how gorgeous and striking she was, and the fact that she pulled off orange. It really inspired me to try and make something, to duplicate it, not even knowing what cosplay was realistically as a fledgling.
Mm-hmm.
And that got the ball rolling. She's still one of my go-tos. Lucy Westenra is still one of my favorites. But then that opened up the whole new world for me. So yeah, I've got a little bit of some of my cosplay stuff back there. Actually, mostly that stuff is all screen use costumes that I've used in some of my independent film work.
Okay.
But yeah, one of my favorites is this guy right here. I'm not gonna go full ODST on everybody. But,
man.
Oh God, it's so
nice. Good. It is.
It's fun.
Oh yeah, and Phil definitely knows it because he's an Xbox fanboy. Only once.
And ODST is a fucking good ass game, dude. So
yeah. I don't know. I'm still a sucker for the original.
Yeah.
They had a home run right out the gate from me.
and let's face it, we all went into the bathroom and did the Halo song just to get the.
Oh. Fiber, Phil. More fiber.
Yeah.
If you're in the bathroom making that noise.
Oh God.
No, that's Phil's O song.
Oh.
So I mean, so you've been cosplaying then for a while now. And what kind of really made you get into like even bigger things, like kind of like your first breakout? Then?
Actually, a friend of mine, Sinister Creature Con, the convention held in Sacramento, and Sinister Halloween Con. One of a friends of mine was a featured artist there, and he said, "Hey, you know what? I need a model for my work." And I'm like, "Cool." Basically, that was step one. Him bringing me on board into that team really got me into a position where I could meet other artists. They could see what I can do. there is actually a talent to art modeling, do modeling body painting and special effects makeups and that sort of thing. The kids who sit still on Face Off and turn into something else. There is a skill behind it. You have to be able to stay just like this, very, 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 however long it takes until they're done doing those details, painting in those veins, whatever it is. And so then once people found out that I was a reliable canvas, I've worked with several artists now that are featured in the Sinister Creature Con and Halloween Con. Tosh Moore, she does such beautiful work. One of my favorite transformations ever, she's responsible for, and that was when she did me as Sally from A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ooh, that was a good one.
She outdid herself on that one. Tosh Moore, Poison Apple FX. Find her, Instagram, Facebook, all the things.
Yeah.
Dan Acosta, Happy Death Effects.
The work that Dan Acosta's done has been pretty good too. Like I do all my research and everything, so I kind of like went through and like just started going through and looking at all the costumes you've done and everything like that. And yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I've worked with him on set on a couple of projects now. I'm trying to remember which ones. Just recently, we worked together on something that's in pre-production, in production right now, called, the current acting name is Red Dead Halloween.
Okay.
Was previously known as Echoes of Terror. And actually, Sack Deadpool, he's going to be in that one too. He's got a little cameo in the background. I don't know if he's in Deadpool cause or if they've got him done as something else. But yeah, they needed some colorful background characters, and I do believe he's hiding in there. You can find him with a fly on the wall.
Nice. I've only been in the makeup chair like twice now for special effects and prosthetic work, and it was a blast. I enjoyed every minute. I was in the chair for probably like hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I had I was gonna get shot in the head, and so we had to have all the stuff ready to go. He had the piping glued to my head, going down my neck, down my shirt, 20 feet away into the cornfield just for that shot. And the special effects guy, he's like, dude, you take this like a champ. So you don't care. I'm like, no, this is great.
Yeah.
And she has a gore effect from a film that she did recently on her page. I almost used that in the promo.
Nice. There's one particular role that I did that's it's a short film called Mother Wound. And in not so many words, I'm the wound. I'm the physical embodiment of generational trauma. And that one, I was able to do a lot of really cool, creepy movements and, twitchies and contortions and really, really throw myself into it. Downside, the whiteout contacts. I was completely blind. I basically spent weeks ahead of time rehearsing these movements. You're recording myself ahead of time, saying, okay, what does this feel like versus what does it look like? Okay, that looks stupid. Let's do it this way then, and just memorizing what those postures felt like so that I could execute them blindly day of.
Yeah, I've heard so many stories about those white contact lenses that no one's ever able to see out of them.
Yeah, the black ones aren't as bad because you've at least got, pinholes. But it was imagine the foggiest day you've ever tried to drive through where your headlights are just inches from your car,
Yeah.
And then especially when they've got the camera lights on you and it's just wash out, just pure white.
Yeah. I was able to talk to one of the zombies that was like the head of the zombie school on Walking Dead. And
nice.
She's like, it's a lot of work that you have to go to stuff like that. And you, like you said, you have to video record yourself doing those movements because it has to be so you can do it, because you said you can't see crap.
Right.
You really can't hear crap sometimes too, but depending on the prosthetics and stuff they have on you.
It's just like choreographing a dance, basically. You know, it's just a really weird dance. It's a thriller, sort of.
Yeah, I'm just going through some of your cosplays too. And have you been able to meet any of the actors that you cosplay as?
Oh, actually, not exactly. I've cosplayed as Negan and met some of the cast members from The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is another one that I seriously geek out on. You want to see something cool?
Yeah,
always.
So this was one via auction.
Yeah.
It is an authentic screen used real blue seal. Actually, to be honest, I've heard 2 points of origin on this one.
Okay.
One that it was screen used and one that he made it. And I've been trying to get somebody to validate that. But I can show that it is absolutely legitimate. That was one to support our troops.
Oh, nice.
So, homes for our troops. Put that up for auction, and I thought that's about the coolest cause that I can think to donate to.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Airborne.
Now, is that one of Rogue's boots behind you there?
Oh yeah, Rogue's hanging out in the background. Oh, that's one that I cosplay as that I'm hopefully going to meet. So
are you going to meet Lenore of all people?
Rumor has it that she's going to be at I think is it Sundial, the next Sundial up in Reading.
Oh, okay.
And Rogue is my homegirl.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
I've always heard good things about Lenore, just like everybody talks about how awesome she is in real life.
Oh yeah, no, I actually just met Jubilee a couple. Well, the new one from
97.
97, yeah. And I was helping out Sacramento Deadpool. He was a featured guest at that particular convention, and I was kind of there as support, helping him as a handler, and just the person who sticks the swords on the back because he don't got no hands back there.
Yep.
What?
Right? Crazy.
I turned that into a joke. Like I can't reach it. Help!
So it was kind of cool. I got to go into the green room, and we sat and we talked a little bit, and she did a panel that I attended, and at the end of it, I went up to her. I said, "All right, I got a trivia question for you." She said, "Hit me with it." I said, "Do you know how much this game cost?" She said, "Yeah, $0.25." Yes. Bucket list kick.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, going to these cons and being able to meet the people that you do, and I can only imagine because my wife would hate it if I got into cosplaying. I would love it, but
right?
I can't have another hobby that costs.
That's just another hobby for you to get into, dude.
I have too many as it is, but my eventual goal would be to lose the dad bod and go as Kratos from God of War at some point.
Kratos.
Oh yeah, your beard would lend your.
I'm already bald and bearded. Come on.
Yeah.
I just need platform shoes or boots just to get taller.
Stunt or stilt work.
Yeah.
How hard could it be?
Yeah. Easy.
How hard could it be? Famous last words.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly. The closest thing I have is I do have a Ghostbusters uniform, the jumpsuit that says Graveyard on it. I got it custom made and the proton pack and all that stuff. So I could do that. And I also thought about doing I can't think of his name. Ray Stevenson from is Ray Stevenson or Ray Davidson? From Ahsoka.
Ray Stevenson.
Oh.
Yeah. Balin, right?
Yeah.
Balin Skull.
There he is.
Yeah. I'd do that because I would always be a Sith.
Yeah, that's one of the issues with my cosplay is a lot of times they're original characters that I come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Like shortly after I did Lucy, I decided that I wanted to be a Twi'lek.
Okay.
I always liked those girls as a kid, dancing around in Jabba's palace. I'm like, oh, I want to look like that. Their hair, they're Laku. I now know their Laku looks so cool. So I got really creative and nerdy on that one. I was just sitting in my garage one day looking around at stuff, and I thought, okay, so there's some screen, and there's an old raft, and let's see, there's some coffee. Let's do it. And I made this hodgepodge headdress, green Laku, that it got the job done. I've upgraded since then, but yeah, step one, throw some weird crap together and make something cool happen.
Yeah.
For a second, I was like, you said step one, and I was almost dead center. You were going to say, put my dick in a box.
That's not step one.
Instead of Baste buns?
I mean, I can almost see you doing like a rogue pool.
I actually have.
You have?
Yes. Twee Rogue was what I called her. Rogue Pool. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I got my genres all mishmashed. No, Rogue Pool. That'd be a lot of primary colors.
But can you imagine Deadpool with the strength of Rogue? I mean,
that would be absolutely terrifying. Mainly because the only thing he would do with that is just whack his own dick off.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, but yeah, he was the only one that could touch himself. So, ooh. Every time I think about you.
What you would have to do as an inside joke, what you would have to do is do something where you have the entire costume, and then you have like a little like bloody rag on the crotch, and you walk by and people are just like, okay, so what's that? Like, obviously I ripped it off.
Bad.
See, Sandra wants you to do it so you can be officially in the Council of Wades.
In the Council of Wades. I don't know. I gotta find the pool that speaks to me. There's so many pools to choose from.
It's true. That's true.
Swim around and find the right pool.
Exactly. Now, with everything you've created, with your standalone stuff that you created and your other character creations, as like Rogue, do you have a favorite that you like to do the most?
Yeah, my Twi'lek is probably my favorite, especially in the summertime when it requires a lot more body paint and a more grandiose makeup. I really liked doing Sally, and would like to give that one a crack on my own with my own paint and paintbrush and see what I come up with. Mm-hmm. Tosh set the bar pretty darn high, but at least she gave me some ideas and some inspiration. So maybe make that happen again someday.
Yeah, I need to find that picture of you with Sally and show it to my daughter, because she loves Night Before Christmas. My wife loves Night Before Christmas. She even has like a patchwork heart on her foot. It's a tattoo. And then she also has our kids as essentially the three kids from Night Before Christmas, but our own versions of them. So, man, say along with, so how much do you think you spend on?
Oh, quick! What are the three kids' names? Come on, give it to me. You should know this.
Crap.
Nope, that is definitely not one of them. Crap, Snap, and Feral? No.
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head. Lock, Stock, and Barrel.
There you go. Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
Lock, Shock,
not Stock.
It should be.
That's a British film.
It very much is. Yeah, it's, besides cosplaying though, like, thanks, Sandra, Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Yes, I don't watch it. I do watch it every year, I guess. Brain fart though. So, I mean, without spoiling anything, do you have any costumes you have planned out right now?
I guess I can spill the beans on that one. I've been kind of having this project in the dark that Zach Deadpool has been helping me out with. He's been 3D printing me some pieces for an Evil Lynn.
Nice.
I'm very excited about that one.
Evil Lynn's gonna be dope. I love that.
Yeah. No. Meg Foster is exquisite and beautiful, and I mean those eyes, obviously. I don't think they make a contact capable of capturing what she can do with her eyes, but yeah, they're gonna try and bring that to life. More the traditional animated version, though, not so much the Hollywood,
The live action version.
yeah, the live action. Yeah.
Do we acknowledge the live action version here?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Well,
Why?
you know, technically it is canon now. It is canon now.
You know, Billy Barty, come on, man.
Yeah, Kevin Smith made it canon, so it is a canon character now.
No, I have a very affectionate place in my heart for that movie, regardless of its many flaws that I see now as an adult.
What?
Don't you ruin my nostalgia cookie.
I love bad movies to no end.
Oh yeah. That's all I make is bad movies.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, so obviously then you make films, you're an actor and stuff like that. So tell us a little bit about that. How'd you get into that? Was that kind of just like a natural progression from cosplaying?
Actually the acting came first.
Okay.
I got into I got bit by the bug as a small kid, like in the 6th grade. They were doing Romeo and Juliet, and I said, okay, I want to try that. And yeah, there it went. You know, wherefore art thou? I am here. So yeah, I did it as a hobby.
The lit nerd in me just cringed. Wherefore is why. That's why I'm like, oh.
I know a lot of weird stuff.
No, that's what I was saying. That like the literature nerd in me just cringed when you used wherefore.
I are here.
Right? Because wherefore is why. That's why I'm like, I just cringed. No.
Yeah. But yeah, that got the ball rolling. Started taking classes down at the local theater. Started auditioning in some of the independent films.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I ever made was, I think I was 17. It was filmed here in my little hometown, called Honey Run. And that one was cool. It's a horror, no, not a horror, murder mystery.
Okay.
So yeah, the girls were found dead on Honey Run Road. That one predates the Tubies and all those things. So quite honestly, I don't know where, if you could find that one might be older than the internet.
So it's somewhere on a VHS.
Yes. But it did get seen. People, it was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's buried in the ether somewhere. I might come across it and someday.
When I'm ready, I might allow people to watch it.
No, it's cool. It's about a lot of inner turmoil between the characters, where they address like alcoholism and physical abuse and like all these things, so that all these people have reason to be the bad guy,
right?
And then just kept at it, picking up more little gigs here and there, finding different artists and picking up different skills. Being on set, even if I'm not in the feature, is always a great experience. You're going to learn something about Foley or sound, about lighting, all the things. I have picked up stunt work now. I actually went to the police academy. Brief side note, have a stint of law enforcement in my background.
Okay.
But that gave me an opportunity to pick up some really cool physical skills.
Mm-hmm.
And I also that combined with stage combat training. So yeah, I can do stunt driving, stunt work, bungee stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, I did a semester of stage fighting in high school, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it really was. And we choreographed a fight, and I had the guy break my neck, and we were mic'd. So I said I can really crack my neck really loud. So I go, you just do the motion. I'll move my head and make sure that your mic's right behind me.
Right.
So he did that, and the crack just went through the auditorium.
Nice.
It was great, and people like, oh, is he okay?
Yeah, it's always great when something organic like that happens.
Does he seem like he's okay? He just broke his neck.
Right. Like, for example, on the scene or on the set of Honey Run, I'm playing this child that's being harmed by your father. And he thought he knew how far away I was when he did the backhand gesture.
Oh, shit.
No. Smack. And oh man. But I knew enough that even though it made contact, I just threw myself with it, and it looked so dramatic, and you heard the noise. And though I kind of sat up and I had a little bit of a, runny eye kind of thing, like, whoa, stunned, but fucking worth it.
I'm just imagining the Street Fighter sound.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's stage fighting and stuff like that is really fun to do. Our last movie that we did here in June, we were in Connecticut, and our guy was wearing a costume that he couldn't see out of whatsoever. He's supposed to be attacking people. And the guy, it became people paid to get abused by one of our actors and get hurt. That's what they paid for. And so he's a wolf, he's uppercutting someone, and the guy's like, I'm gonna get right next to him. Like, no, the camera's behind you. You can be 3 feet away. It doesn't matter. Right. But he kept getting closer and closer. Like, we're like, dude, you have to stop. That actor cannot see.
Yeah.
And he got too close. And he just really almost uppercutted him just because he did not listen. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Not paying attention.
Yeah. They saying roll with the punches was developed for a reason.
Yeah.
It's like actor in progress.
There's a particular scene in movie which is available on Tubi, Reanimation Team. Me and my scene partner rehearsed. We choreographed and rehearsed this particular fight sequence for, I don't know, like collectively, probably it was only like a week, but we didn't have a set week to do it. We had a day on this week and a day on this week and a day on this week, and in between practicing on our own. And again, it's like I said, just like a dance, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you memorize those body movements. And then come day of filming, there were some spatial issues that we thought we had more space than we actually did, and we ended up having this door that was in the way, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to work it around it. And I said, you're going to close that door with me. You're going to pick me up and slam me into it and shut the door. Oh, okay. Like, that works. You're going to hit me against the wall, pull me forward, hit me again, and the door is going to shut. And then we've got all of this dancing space. And it worked out beautifully.
You played multiple roles on that film, right? So it wasn't just stunt coordination. You also had a character. You also played grip. Like, I mean, you did a couple things. Right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I did a few things while on set there. Like I said, you're always going to pick up a different skill. So sometimes I was doing grip work. Sometimes I was doing, helping with some of the special effects. Like we had a blood clotting issue that I I had to come up and whip up some blood recipe and throw it in. So yeah, just pulling from all your different experiences and pools of knowledge that you have to utilize and get creative.
Right.
So got to think fast.
Oh, especially the indie world is, as you said, you have so many roles to do that it takes a lot of people to make a movie. And with the indie world, you have a lot less of those people to make that movie.
Yeah. And actually, that one's over here too. I got the original screen use Judy Robinson Triforce Commando armor right there.
Nice.
Nice. So and having something like this to do combat in when you're in tight quarters, and we were actually aboard a cruise ship that God rest her soul, the Aurora, which was harbored down in Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing this whole restoration project on this ship. There were a few things that were filmed there, including a James Bond movie, and I don't remember. It'll come to me later. But unfortunately, it has succumbed to the elements, and they were unable to restore. So we lost the boat. But it was a great shot, great ship, great place to shoot stuff, and great sci-fi look.
Yeah, I mean,
That's right. Resident Evil Siren Song. That's a project that a lot of my friends worked on together. Would definitely recommend that if you're a Resident Evil fan and you want to see an awesome fan film, Resident Evil Siren Song.
Hold on, let me make note of this.
Yeah. A lot of talented people put blood, sweat, and tears into that. Literally blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's a lot of work to do stuff sometimes.
I didn't have any affiliation with this one. I'm just work that they had done prior to me meeting them, and I was blown away.
Awesome. So what's kind of been like the most difficult scene for you to do while filming?
Not so much with filming. I find scenes far more difficult to do in theatricals, in stage acting.
Mm-hmm.
Filming, I don't know, there's so much adrenaline that I feel like I can pull from it and utilize it so much quicker. But in theater, when you have to maintain something for so long and make to get it just right, that is the greater challenge to me, but worth it.
Yeah, you're right. Live theater is way different.
Yeah. The last theatrical production I did was heavy. We did the Laramie Project.
Okay.
Which I don't know how many of you would be familiar with it, but it's basically about the hate crime of Matthew Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
And I played the sheriff that responded to finding his remains. And that was intense. I couldn't even hardly I couldn't get through the audition without just sobbing, just cold reading these lines. And she said, yeah, you got the job. But yeah, at the very end of that, and we ran it for 3 or 4 weeks. We ran it for a good long time. And obviously it didn't have as much of an impact by, week 4. I knew what was coming. But still, at the very end, when I walk out on stage for the last time and it's the resolution scene, I held it, those tears, right there, standing in the wings, just holding it until walk on stage and drip, drip. Like, you got to keep it. You got to maintain it and hold it sometimes way longer than you want to.
Yeah.
But make sure that you're able to deliver what needs to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's when I was in high school, I did theater, but if it was a musical, I completely stayed out of it because I can't sing or dance as a Dutch guy. So I'm like, nope, not for me. But set design, lights, sound, house, anything that was needed to make the production happen. And I'm thankful I'm able to do this now, a couple decades later, and do this.
You got a great face for radio, honey. You're
I get it. We're old, okay?
Yeah, here we are. But yeah, that's awesome. I gotta ask now, if you were to have a dream role in, let's say, an existing horror franchise, what would it be?
Oh, here's people have asked me that question a lot, and I've never really had an answer. But you know what? I would love to be a Freddy Krueger.
Would you want to be Freddy Krueger, be his daughter?
Well, whatever. I mean, like I would want to be the next, the one who gets into your dreams, because he's so limitless in there, and he's so smart and quick-witted and I would love if there would be a gender bender Frederica.
There you go.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I'm not sure that's ever been done.
I don't think it has.
Interesting, because everyone wants to emulate Robert Englund,
right?
Yeah.
If we were to take it a whole new direction, but with the same charisma, but she would get 2 hands.
She would get 2 hands.
Graveyard, I hear a fucking franchise on the run here.
I don't disagree. I've been wanting to do a Nightmare on Elm Street story for a long time now, and that could work.
I love playing the villain. I just recently signed a contract with a web series that's being filmed really close to home. So no commute, and I love it. And initially they had me cast as like the love interest that he loves her, but then she dies, and whatever, and that sort of role. But then after looking at some of my work, they said, oh, you need to be the bad guy. Yes, I do.
I like that. I like my goal is either be the bad guy or get killed in everything I do.
Yep, you see the piano here, so it's a grand piano.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. It's grand. It's kind of smallish.
Well, I have to put the person on it now. So
in his hands, it feels big. Okay.
That feels so big in this hand.
Is that the last instrument you have to build? You just gotta finish the stage.
Now I have to build the person, the piano player.
Oh, okay.
That is the last instrument, but I have to build the piano player now.
Yeah. So, Anne, clearly you like Nightmare on Elm Street, but yeah, what is your kind of guilty pleasure horror movie?
Rubber.
Yes.
Why? No reason.
No reason. No reason. I mean, it's on the same vein as Slacks and Deathbed, The Bed That Eats.
What's another one? Obviously, Evil Dead. There's the obvious ones. I'm trying to think of the hidden nuggets that people are like, really?
Hey, Graveyard. Obviously, Evil Dead.
Obviously, I have half my horror sleeve is Evil Dead.
Right.
And he isn't obsessed with Bruce Campbell.
No, not at all. I didn't name my son Ash William, who was born on Bruce Campbell's birthday. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's rich. But no, like the worse the better. It's like cinematic McDonald's for me. Aquarium of the Dead. That one's the winner.
I've got to ask, have you ever actually listened to Pot Out at Night?
No.
You need to. That's all I was trying to get to, is you need to listen to Pot Out at Night. I think you're going to highly enjoy it.
Highly.
Our tagline is, we watch bad movies so you don't have to.
But I want to.
You know what? We need her on your new show, dude. I guarantee you she has a gem that'll work.
I do. I'm creating a new show called Whispers from the Deep.
Oh.
It's originally going to be called The Last VHS on the Shelf.
Oh, nice.
I want to talk to people about their underrated horror gems that exist out there. So watch the movie with people and then record and discuss it.
Oh, yeah.
And insert clips and everything. So I love to have you on.
Yeah, no, I didn't really watch anything as a child except for sci-fi and horror.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I Come in Peace, the Guyver series.
I talk about Guyver. I talk about Guyver so much because my breakthrough into anime was Guyver. And yeah, so like when I was a kid, I would watch Guyver on Sci-Fi at 4 a.m. because that was the only time you could watch it. And then in '89, they came out with the Guyver movie with Mark Hamill,
which has the most blatantly false poster of all time. It shows Mark Hamill's face under the Guyver mask, and he's not the Guyver.
He's not the Guyver.
He's not. He's just some schmo detective. Spoiler alert. He's a
Yeah.
schmo. He's
But,
not
like-
in his soup long enough.
But I always bring up that Guyver was my gateway drug to anime.
Nice. It's a good gateway.
Yeah. Because it's fucking violent. It's violent as shit. And it's fucking amazing.
I was cutting my teeth on John Carpenter, you know.
On himself? Wow.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, I was lucky enough because the guy that introduced me to the Guyver was Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah.
In the 90s. And I got to work with Joe Bob
Yeah.
Briggs.
Well, I was
a couple
watching
months ago.
Monster Vision.
Oh, I got to work with Joe Bob a couple months ago.
Nice.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I've met he and Darcy. They were at one of the conventions at one of the Sinisters. I forget which year. Super awesome. She loved my Negan cosplay. She posted it. Shout out from the mail girl.
See, there you go.
Little highlights in life.
Yeah. And no, Sandra, I did not get to see your show last night. It was back to school night for the kids. I barely got time for my show. Yeah, unfortunately.
I just realized Sack Deadpool said if they could gender bend Pinhead, why not Freddy? Technically, if you really want to get technical,
they didn't.
They gender bended Pinhead when they made him male.
Uh-oh. What's Ann doing?
I think she's busting out the OG.
We have to find out.
Well, and the thing is, you can't. The idea is you can't gender bend a Cenobite because they're not human anymore, so it doesn't really matter. And I would agree with that, Sack Deadpool, except she was the priestess, not the priest in the 2022 one. Uh-oh.
Things are about to get weird.
They are.
Maybe.
Are you gonna have such sights to show us?
Uh-oh. Okay. Once I open it, you can see Doug Bradley. can't see Pinhead till it's open.
In fact, Doug Bradley is actually in here.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's a tiny box.
Poor guy.
He's been stuck in here for like the last 20 years. It's
I could have sworn I saw him last year. That's weird.
Sweet guy. Awesome guy.
Oh yeah. I kind of felt bad for that Days of the Dead early last year in Chicago, because Clive Barker was there doing his last tours before he just became a hermit, went into the cabin and disappeared from society. And so there was lines for all day, every day for Clive, and not many people were in line to see anyone else. And Doug Bradley was there, and Ashley Lawrence was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a really, really nice guy. He took a lot of time to, actually talk to me as a fellow, horror actress or, actor. And, we talked about some of the pitfalls that he had as Pinhead with those, because his contacts, they were not developed like they are today. He had the glass.
Right.
And yeah, that presented so many challenges for him, and the things that he had to go through to execute such a distinguished performance under those conditions.
Yeah. I can only imagine. Poor guy, gets to show up as Pinhead for 20 seconds in 4 Hellraiser movies. Probably got paid a lot of money, but had to go with all that makeup just to have that cameo, essentially.
Right.
In a movie that probably wasn't even originally meant to be a fucking Hellraiser movie.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. They're doing a new Hellraiser. Is it TV show or video game?
Video
there's
game.
something.
Yeah.
It's a video game. Okay.
We're doing a Hellraiser video game. I'm fucking in on this.
Oh, it's a red band trailer, and you see people get torn apart immediately in the trailer.
Well, okay, so hold on. What is your role in the game?
So that was my concern, because as much as I love horror, I'm sick of these asymmetrical horror games. I don't want to be me versus multiple people. I want to play through the story as somebody. because
Mhm.
Halloween is just announced at Gamescom this week,
Mhm.
and it's asymmetrical, but they said it's a solo gameplay. So think like, do you remember the Saw video game
I didn't play it.
on Xbox 360? Come on, it's only an Xbox.
No, but I mean, I didn't play it. I like
but
just
but you played through the story, and this looks like you're going to be playing someone that is going through the limited configuration and trying to survive the Cenobites. It's an FPS. Oh,
hold on. Okay, what? How do you make this an FPS? I don't get that.
how many guns appear in Hellraiser? I'm gonna go with like one.
Hopefully, it's mostly chains and saw blades and
Which I
hooks.
mean, that's something you can do in these games. There are first-person shooters that don't involve guns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They tend to have like weird gameplay, but I mean,
that's I don't want a first-person shooter.
I
mean,
hope it's like
technically,
Outlast.
It says it's this first-person horror. It says it's the first-person horror survival. So
Yeah.
so,
I love the Outlast style games where you're just forced to walk through a haunted house, basically.
yeah, I mean, so Indiana Jones was technically a first-person shooter, but there's no like there. You're encouraged not to use guns in that game.
it's like saying that Uncharted is a first-person shooter, or it needs to be third-person, but it's not a first-person shooter. Like Halo is an FPS.
Yeah.
BioShock is an FPS, but I don't think Hellraiser would be.
Well, maybe it's more like a first-person shooter, but guns like your trump card. You use it, but you're probably going to get aced in just a few moments.
Yeah, I think it's like first-person survival, not.
Yeah.
It's not like you're collecting guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like it's one of those games where, like, if you have a gun, think of it like Resident Evil. Like, you don't want to use the gun because one, you probably don't have enough ammo.
Mm-hmm.
Two, if you use the gun, it makes a shit ton of noise.
Exactly.
And it's just going to give you away. But it's one of those things where the developers probably want you to use that. They want those assholes that are going to run out there with a gun and like immediately.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, like I'm going to immediately go and shoot a Cenobite, and then they fucking rip you apart. Mainly because it's not going to fucking affect them.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen someone shoot at a Cenobite.
Like, I still don't think, I think because the way they're built, it's not gonna affect them at all.
Like I said, I don't know if this ever happened again. I think you just don't have a chance.
Yeah, I think most filmmakers are smart enough not to try to have somebody shoot a Cenobite because it's pointless.
I mean, I'd love to see an asshole try.
But I think
Okay,
that's something.
But would they just heal, or would they be like, cool, new hole, and like add some jewelry to it or something?
I think that's what they would do.
Did he go, ooh, I've been wanting a spot right there.
They would dazzle the shit out of it.
Oh man, that just makes me think of doing like the Twilight version of Hellraiser now.
Oh my god. No, that's not even where I was going with any of this. No, fuck that. If that's what it is, if there's like fucking sparkly Cenobites, I'm done.
I'm out. No,
I said acceptable. Maybe they'll play like Scorn. I can see that. I can see it being a puzzle game that you're trying to solve the limit configuration.
Yeah, if Scorn wasn't a fucking shitty game.
It's a great game if you know how to play it, and most people don't, so therefore not good.
It's great if you don't suck at it.
The puzzles are so unintuitive. It's just like, we're gonna make this really hard. Here's all the puzzle pieces.
You got a super fafo and hope you get lucky.
And we'll remove 5 of the clues. We'll pull a loss on you. Where they purposely cut out scenes to help explain things. That was
sneaky.
All right, so Anne, what's the worst horror franchise do you think? Besides Sharknado.
Which, fun fact, I get to interview Tara Reid next year.
Right.
It's okay. She won't remember it, Phil.
My least favorite. Okay, I'll tell you the one I think is the most overrated because it's hard. I think that the Friday the 13th franchise made some mistakes in a few of their choices.
So once again, I think you need to listen to Pot Out at Night. Literally going through all of the Friday the 13th movies right now.
Yeah, I did that to myself once. I just sat down and did a Friday 13 marathon from start to finish, all gas, no breaks. Manhattan. Oh,
Hey, it's Jason briefly visits Manhattan.
Jason briefly beats up some hobos in Manhattan. Got it. Yeah.
But that's definitely that is the point in the franchise where it was just money.
Yeah. But then there are a couple of gems in there that, like I said, I love the cheese. Give me the crappy horror movies and Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, that's not a crappy horror movie. That's pinnacle of a versus.
That was gold.
I also love Alien versus Predator. So yeah.
Yeah. I'll throw it in there simply because that's when Lance Henriksen gets his induction into the trio. That one gets a pass for Lance's sake.
Yeah, that is true.
We might actually there's only been like 2 guests on fucking Pot Out at Night. She might actually have to be a guest on the show, dude. If you can get that cleared with Salem, because Salem's gonna be like, no.
Oh, he'll say yes. He just won't be there.
Salem's going on vacation.
He does not interact with people. That's kind of the rule we have for our shows that we do. It's like he's like, I don't have to interact with people, do I? Go, no, you don't. He goes, okay.
Salem himself is a fucking horror character.
He is.
Yeah, the Alien, the first AVP, it could have gone better, but it
could have
opened
gone
the door.
worse. It could have gone worse, and we got Requiem for it.
Right, it opened the door, and Requiem messed me up.
I have to remember this right now. So, AVP is the one in Antarctica, right? The first one. So that means Requiem's the one that's in the fucking that has like the final scene in like the gymnasium, right?
Yeah, the one with the maternity ward.
Yes.
But
there's completely destroyed how aliens lay eggs.
Right. That's one thing that I just take it with take your pills. Just forget it happened. Just the gestation period seems to vary greatly across the Alien franchise.
It gets faster as the franchise continues.
Sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 5 days.
Yeah, hopefully they're gonna start fixing it with the shit. I have you guys watched Alien Earth yet?
No.
Yes.
Okay, so I've heard nothing but good things about it, especially for people who have all the people who had the early screenings and saw the first 5 episodes.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Which specifically they said they only released the first 5 episodes because they're holding on to the last 3 because something major is supposed to happen. Like franchise changing is supposed to happen.
Well, we'll have to see how that goes without spoiling it because, no one knew that aliens existed on Earth, which takes place 2 years before Alien. So, I'm sure they're gonna address that. Like, there's gonna be something that happens. Yeah, but we are getting essentially AVP in Predator Badlands, though.
Right.
The trailer for that.
They also said that they are apparently they're retconning Prometheus with this show.
I had a feeling.
Which is a bold stance to retcon the guy who created it stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see the direction that the franchise goes because it is really what's the word I'm looking for right now? Where it's just in a very delicate state where the fans are either going to be all for it or they're going to bounce. They're going to abandon it because they make a really bad decision. So I'm curious.
Yeah, I think
tenuous. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's all right. But yeah, what Salem and I have talked about when we watched Ryanless a couple times in theaters is that was Fede Alvarez playing it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now that he's played it safe, let's see what he does unhinged.
and that's from what I hear. Everything that I'm hearing from all the people who got the pre-screenings are
Mhm.
saying that this is the most alien thing
Yeah.
of any like anything that they've ever done in the franchise.
Mhm.
It harkens a lot back to the first two Alien movies, so Alien and Aliens. They are jumping back into the horror element of everything, but they're also explaining a lot of things that never got explained over the franchise. So like they're like there's certain things where like there were continuity issues
Mhm.
Yeah.
that happened in the movies where they're explaining those issues within this show. So why something like that is no longer a continuity issue and now it makes sense. And the way that I've heard it in these non-spoiler reviews are you would think when you hear that they're taking something like a continuity issue and putting context to it, you would think like, oh, this is going to be stupid, and they're like, no, it actually makes sense, and it actually it's kind of how
Dave Filoni does it.
I was gonna say it's kind of how Dave Filoni does with Star Wars, where he'll put context to things that don't make sense in the movies, but then now it all makes sense and it adds to when you go and watch the movie again, it makes it so it's a different
Right.
experience.
Mhm.
And I like that idea. I like that idea of, okay, people fucked up in the movies, but let's go and explain things in this TV show and make things make more sense.
Very Shyamalonian.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do that much because Shyamalan fucks a lot of things up and leaves it that way. Whereas
Right.
this is more like things are fucked up and they're fixing it. So, and I like again, I like that idea. I like the idea of, okay, let's fix these things, and that way, now you have different context when you go watch this movie again, and it makes that movie better.
Mhm.
And then what they're saying is the last 3 episodes they didn't send out because something game changing is supposed to happen in the last 3 episodes. And the thing that the studio said in regard to it was that like that Disney was saying was that this if basically it's one of those things where they are doubling down on everything that happened in the last movie,
Mhm.
but then also it's basically this is what's going to carry the franchise forward.
Well, there's one major thing that could happen that'd be game changing,
Mhm.
and that'd be Return of Ellen Ripley.
And that, I mean, if
Well,
they,
wait a minute. Let's think about the timeline now.
it also is the prequel.
No,
2 years before Alien, yes.
Sigourney Weaver was yeah, absolutely. She is a game changer. She is iconic in women in heroic roles and really gave us chicks in the horror and action or sci-fi industry
Yep.
a good platform to stand on and a hero to aspire to be. So yeah.
Well, she passes she's one of the few characters from the 80s that passes the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a character that doesn't go in. She doesn't have like her motivating factor isn't a dude. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
she doesn't go
exactly.
in and it's like, oh, the only thing that makes her interesting is that she is trying to fall in love with a guy or that she's talking about a guy. If anything, she's talking about how stupid these fucking dudes are, and it just promotes how fucking strong of a character she is.
Yeah. So I ran this theory past Dodds, Phil, because he's doing the whole review stuff, right?
Right.
And my theory explains how Lance is in Aliens, Alien 3, and AVP.
Yeah.
And how it's all the same bishop.
Oh, you think so? I've
Yep.
considered that.
Mhm.
I've considered that, but I don't know. I think that's a little.
They
Kind
introduce things in the show that could explain all of it.
Well, I was gonna say, kind of in that vein,
Mhm.
there's a lot of cyberpunk in this show, right? Like it's very much. I mean, that's kind of given. We already kind of knew that cyberpunk was an element as far as Earth and the way that everything worked over there, between like Wayland Yutani and some of the other corporations, because it is a corporate run world, right? Cloning is also a thing that exists in this world.
Right.
To the extent that, like, you have a lot of these androids are like, the consciousness of someone who passed away. So you have these weird things where it's like it's a child passes away, they put them in an adult body, and now you're a forever child in an adult android body. Things like that, right? Like you have all these kind of weird concepts. But if cloning is a thing, what if the last shot of the final episode is that there is a cloning vat, and they have multiple clones of Ripley?
I don't think they would do that because Alien Resurrection is 500 years into the future, and they still didn't get it right at that point in time. Now, what I think, I don't want to spoil anything, but what I think is going to happen is if you are the head of Weyland-Yutanis and you have the ability to transfer your consciousness, you're able to create synthetics, and you're able to be a cyborg, why would you do all of them? Why wouldn't you have your consciousness replicated, ready to go, be transplanted whenever you want? Why couldn't you be a cyborg and have the enhancements and live as long as Bishop does? Because Aliens and Alien 3 is within a year of each other. Who's to say he wouldn't transplant his consciousness as one of the first line of synthezoids and have that model be after him? That's why he is bleeding red blood in Alien 3, and that's why he's also an android in Aliens.
But see, that makes a lot of sense. Like that, and again, this would be something that they would explain in Alien Earth. It gives you, again, that also falls in line with what they've said that they're doing, right? That they are retconning and fixing issues from the franchise, right? Okay, well, you have a character that should have been dead in multiple movies and just seems fucking fine, right? So it's like you do something like that where you explain that, yeah, he just transfers his consciousness into different synthesoids.
Right. And he wasn't Bishop in AVP, he was Weyland. And who's to say that Weyland didn't change his name after living for hundreds of years and became Bishop? Right.
It's 100% true. Sandra also does bring up a good point. So they did officially in on the other side of this universe, right? But another franchise that involves Weyland-Yutani, in Predator Killer of Killers, they established that they that they have Arnold Schwarzenegger in a stasis cell.
Yes.
Right. So he didn't, basically he didn't die or anything like that. Like they showed, I think they said Danny Glover, because I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it was Danny Glover, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and someone else. But they have them, the Predators have them in stasis cells.
They do.
Yeah.
Definitely have that in Killer of Killers.
Because they couldn't take them out, so they freeze dried them instead.
But I mean, that makes sense in the sense that if they couldn't kill these guys, or if these guys got one over on the Predators, why wouldn't the Predators want to study them in order to make themselves more, to learn from them?
I mean, you could argue that the Predators are the biggest bitches in the world because they lose. They go, I may have lost, but you know what? I'm blowing this entire city block up.
I am very upset that I lost this fight, so I'm going to nuke everything. Fuck off.
Right.
Have a good fucking day.
Right. Ultimate hunter's my ass. Can't take the loss in stride.
They must be cancers.
Are they related to Donald Trump? Oh, shit. Hold on.
They can't be cancers because why? It's not a tumor.
Oh,
oh man. So, and what do you think is the kind of the best horror franchise for you then?
There's a lot to choose from. Yeah, I mean the Aliens is amazing. The whole Alien franchise, Predator franchise. Those are movies that are going to make it through the ages.
Yeah.
But again, of course, my personal favorite is the one that gets in your head. Freddy Krueger, for me, I remember one time when I was a child, I had a nightmare that Freddy was real, which meant in my dream I wasn't allowed to sleep. So I dreamt that I wasn't sleeping and woke up exhausted. I felt like I hadn't gotten a wink of sleep. And when a character can do that, when something fictitious can get into that many layers of your inception psyche, that says something about the writing.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
You're not going anywhere, bitch.
yeah. In prep of the ill-fated reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street,
Oh God.
my wife and I, then girlfriend, watched all of them in one day, and she
Oh,
dreamt about
fuck.
Freddy. She's like, I dreamt about Freddy. I'm like, I don't know why. I didn't.
Well, and I think that
You're built different, bro.
the Freddy franchise has the most fun practical effects. You know, the first time I ever saw Nancy sinking into those stairs, I was like, oh, that can happen. You know, the way they did the bedroom, you know, the freaking rotating stage that they built, genius. You know, that's the stuff that gets my nerd juices flowing. That I like to see the magic, and he's got the most.
Yeah. I was actually able to talk to a guy who was the production designer on 4 and 5 Nightmare on Elm Street. So like when he had to stop the semi in the middle of the road where he had the hunky boy was dreaming riding the motorcycle and all the stuff attaching to him, he did those scenes.
Nice.
And he said the amount of work that went into that, especially the stopping of the truck, was just
the motorcycle. I love yeah. Wild.
So besides number 1, what's your favorite of Nightmare on Elm Street?
Probably, I don't know, Dream Warriors is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd probably have to go with that one.
Yeah, it's. I think anyone that Heather's in is automatically fantastic.
It's like realistically, I have like a highlight reel of all of them that I just adore. Can't beat getting rat-tailed to death with a towel and a Moonwalker. I mean, whew.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that Dream Child is probably the least bloody of kills.
Right. Yeah. Number 5 is a kind of weak.
Yeah.
The cheeky, the overeating. Yeah, that one, that was pretty wild, but still tame in comparison to, you know, like turning into a cockroach.
Right. Right. Or you're inside an NES video game, or you're now a comic book character.
Yeah.
Or to shreds.
Yeah. 6 got under my skin a little bit with the ears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the deaf kid and when that hearing aid went into his ear, and I stayed away from Q-tips for a good year or so after watching that.
Don't know why. Nightmare 1 is the best because Johnny Depp dies in it. That's
oh, give Johnny some love. Give Johnny love.
I mean, he's alive. If you saw the end of Nightmare 1, he's clearly still alive, and he is in New Nightmare, so he survives. Right?
There you go. Trying to think. Another one of my favorites is I like the Final Destination franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the most recent one. I haven't seen Bloodlines. I'm waiting.
Good. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
But
shit! That means you've seen it and you hate it.
I've seen it.
yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I think Bloodlines destroys the story of the entire series.
Oh no! All right, well, I'll just pretend like it's its own thing in its own little universe.
I wish it was the Final Destination or Final Destination 5 I don't like the fact that it was a prequel and set up for Flight 180. Like, there's always something to set up. Like, you think that maybe that Alex, Devon Sawa was the first to have it and set everything in line, but you find out at the end of number 5, no, he only has that because of someone else on the plane.
You think that they're kind of grasping at this point?
I think the problem is they're tying it too much into its own series, and it doesn't have to in the slightest. It could just be a different group of people and be done. It's death. Death doesn't need to be tied into Flight 180. So it's a lot more death happens in that plane. But
Okay.
what's your favorite one of all of them now? You haven't seen Bloodlines though.
Oh, I love the ridiculosity of number 5. I mean, sucked through a swimming pool filter.
Yeah.
That's just campy, cheesy fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably the second one is actually my favorite.
Okay.
I think it's the one that most people can relate to. We've all been on the freeway.
Yeah.
We've not all flown to France.
Oh, so you're saying you're more? So I guess, are you more afraid of going on a flight to France, being behind a semi, going on a roller coaster, going to a NASCAR race, which is pretty scary as itself, or being on the bridge?
Oh,
Corporate retreat.
Bridge would be my of those choices be most afraid of, because it would take the longest.
It would. Like you said, number 2 though, their marketing for number 2 was great with all the semis that had the fake logs on the back and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's fucking genius.
It is
terrifying.
Jeepers Creepers sack Deadpool, huh? Have you seen all Jeepers Creepers?
He probably hadn't seen all of them.
No. If you haven't seen Jeepers Creepers Reborn, it's Temu Jeepers Creepers.
No, I kind of stopped paying attention to the Jeepers Creepers franchise when all that stuff came out about the controversy. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to say anything. You can have your art. You can keep it over there. I'm going to go look at other art.
But you're missing the sentient truck now.
Right.
This truck is now alive. Yeah. It's really bad. I said Reborn, essentially they bought a Jeepers Creepers costume from Temu, and that was their pops. His mouth doesn't even move.
God.
It looks like a trash bag.
Mask.
Yeah. Static mask and trash bag.
Awesome.
Oh, James says he has the same She-Ra outfit. Twinning. James, if that's a true fact, you need to post it on the Nerdington Post. We need to see you as She-Ra, James.
Absolutely. That is something that needs to happen.
See, he can be She-Ra, and you can be her what?
Evelyn.
No, her horse.
Oh, Spirit. Spirit or Swiftwind? You're gonna have to be more specific.
That's too far for me to know. I don't know that much about
Nay, I say nay.
Oh, the puns.
Gotta rein them in.
Exactly. James says you'll see us in the Distance during OnlyFans. I mean, Swiftwind is a unicorn, Phil, and you have unicorn stuff.
There we go. The next time I do Unipool, I'm gonna be riding Swiftwind.
You should.
I don't know if that means what everyone thinks it means.
What
winds are you going to be on?
It means whatever you think it means, guys.
He's eating Taco Bell that night, folks. The winds will be swift and stinky.
Taco Bell chimichanga sounds awful.
It does actually sound awful.
Because it just be deep fried in like weeks old oil and disgusting.
There you go.
So, Anne, is there any costume as a cosplay that you haven't done that you'd love to do? What's like your dream cosplay?
Oh. I'm drawing a blank now because Ones that I've got, little back burner projects that I are in varying degrees of completeness. Spider Gwen.
Oh, nice.
I'm putting together Spider Gwen. Thing is, I kind of do them as soon as I want to. I say, I want to make that happen. Okay. Yeah, those are the only two right now that I'm like, oh, I need that in my life. Help me out, Sackpool. I know you're looking. Who else have I been babbling about in the side burners?
You said Lady Deadpool.
Ha! Ha. That'd be weird.
I mean, if say someone gave you $100,000 to make your next cosplay, a blank check essentially.
Like, yeah, just make anything. I would love to just build, create my original Diablo character, my witch doctor. She's that'd be a lot of fun. What characters do we have out there in the real world though?
Well, you need to make Lady Freddy happen regardless.
All right, Lady Freddy. Yeah, that's, I don't know, that's more a makeup than like a costume that I would have to create and come up with. I would like to do that again. This one's not expensive or anything, but just a gender bender of Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
I love that guy. He's a lot of fun. So that's another one that maybe play around with that. Double into the anime a little bit. I haven't really done any anime cosplay.
Okay.
Like a she Dr. Stone. She Senku Ishigami Senku. She.
Taylor said they're working on a cosplay for James. Clearly the costume's there all along. He's the kid from Up. Come on.
He's the kid from Up. That's pretty funny.
Something from Dr. Stone, perhaps, says Sack Deadpool.
Yeah. I like to do little gender benders, take traditionally male characters and put a little spice on them, make them my own. So yeah, if doing Ichigami Senku from Dr. Stone, that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, Phil dresses up as Sailor Moon, but
yes.
that's for the OnlyFans page.
So if I ever did something like that, I would have to do like full on, so Sailor Moon, but with the biggest stash ever.
If I had the budget, I would make a xenomorph.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm having a moment where my brain doesn't work. Yeah, no, that has actually always been a dream of mine.
OG Xenomorph or one of the variants or the Queen?
OG. Maybe the Queen, I don't know, but even just the standard, the one that everyone's used to seeing. I would love to get my hands on, get my claws on that.
Man, Deadpool dressed as She-Ra.
Magical.
She-Ra would be a good one too.
Have you guys ever noticed, what does He-Man say, or what does Adam say when he transforms into He-Man?
I have the power.
For the power of Grayskull, right?
By the power of Grayskull.
What does She-Ra say? By the honor of Grayskull.
Oh.
Gender roles, man.
Gender roles. Fuck them.
The honorable ladies.
See, I can see you pulling off a Pred Alien.
Ooh.
From AVP Requiem. I don't think many people do that. I don't know if I've ever seen a cosplay of that.
There's probably a reason.
No one saw it.
Yeah, no. Actually, I was just discussing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the cosplayer Bay Area Predator, or he's like his Instagram is
I've seen him at shows.
yeah, Bay Area Pred 408 or something along those lines.
Yeah, his costumes are ridiculous.
It's legit.
Yeah.
The cable system that he's got to make the mouth mechanized and all the lighting and oh man, he's been building that thing for a while, just progressively making it better and better. And yeah,
if you Google Bay Area Predator, you don't go to his stuff. You
don't do that. That's why I said
Bay
Area Pred 408.
The wrong kind of predator.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
It's not the predator I was looking for.
No, gotta specify.
Oh my gosh, these are not the droids I was looking for.
Phil Sack Deadpool says if you go as dressed as Sailor Moon, he'll go as Sailor Mars.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say is I think we should do the opposites on that because I'm actually I'm more of a Sailor Mars fan than I am a Sailor Moon fan. So I should totally be Sailor Mars and you should be Sailor Moon. And again, we would need to grow out the fattest fucking like mustaches.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
I mean, if I lived by you guys, I would do it with my beard. Hell yeah.
Very Moon.
we would both make so many people happy with that because like a lot of people would imagine that as like, oh, they're trans Sailor Moon, right? But we would just piss off a lot of the fucking weirdo fanboys.
It would be Failure Moon. Come on. It would be Sailor Moon. It would be Failure Moon.
No, it's Sailor Jerry Moon.
There you go.
Oh my God. I mean, we walk around with bottles of Sailor Jerry.
Yeah. That has to have been done, right?
I don't think anybody has. And I think that might be something we need to do for LA Comic-Con.
Sack Deadpool, he wants to go as Sailor Uranus.
Sailor Uranus. And all my responses to that is flared base.
Oh, Lordy. I love how that's just like the catch-all phrase now to end any conversation. Oh yeah? Flared base.
Oh man. Well, Phil, I think it's about time to get in some of these wrap-ups. Or what do you think?
I am ready. And I think Ann already knows what my wrap-up question is because she is a patron of our show.
Mm-hmm.
So, given that, right? You know what I'm going to ask you right now. What is your favorite kind of taco?
Fish.
Fine. Okay.
No, I love a good cod taco.
It's all right. You are free to be wrong. It's okay.
I'm free to be wrong.
No, fish taco is good. Everybody's got a different palate. So I mean, like, you know, it's not I'm saying there is a right answer, but at the same time, it's fine.
I don't know what the right answer is.
Oh, the right answer is al pastor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, el pastor is also very good, but cod taco, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, well, you're all good. Enjoy your fishy ass fish tacos.
You didn't say fishy ass. I don't think she's eating the ass.
No, not eating fishy ass.
Oh man. So what's some advice you might have for somebody trying to get into any field of work that you do? So whether it's cosplay or if you're getting into indie films, things like that. What do you think? What do you think is some good advice?
Try.
Ooh.
Try and be wrong and learn. Try and be wrong again. Learn some more. So many people. I have this mantra. Don't just follow your dreams. Lead them. make something happen, even if it's not what you want. It's something more than you had before. And that's how you build off of it. That's how you learn new skills. That's how you connect with people that can, help you reach the goals that you want. But you ain't going to get nothing done if you don't try.
I respect that.
I like that. Yeah. And failure is an option. I think it is. It is. You don't learn if you don't fail.
Oh, it's one of the best learning tools.
Yeah, because everyone will make their own version of Birdemic at some point in time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, everybody make a Birdemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead and reach for something. So what if you don't grab a star? You might catch some pixie dust on the way down.
I'm digging this. All right. It took me a minute to figure out which one I wanted to do for this, but I think this is where we're going on this one. Who would win in a fight? Rogue or an ODST trooper with a Spartan laser?
No, Rogue. No, can't compete. No. Although she might have a little bit of difficulty getting close. It would happen. I mean, she'd like launch a tank at him or something, and yeah.
Not just any tank.
Right.
Scorpion flying at you.
Yeah. No, can't miss with my homegirl.
You just look up and it's like, is that a fucking scorpion? Get in the sky. and then that's when the ODST trooper just says, fuck this, I'm out.
Right. He starts halo jumping away.
I didn't sign up for this shit.
He was just expecting red versus blue.
I barely signed up for fucking Master Chief. I'm out.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got there for us?
Let's show you here before we jump into the last two questions here. So she is sitting.
I'm moving you to the big screen here, Phil.
Okay.
I guess it won't let me. Never mind.
I got it.
Okay.
Oh, I guess it's not going to let me either.
Really?
Hey, there he is. Ooh.
So she is sitting at the table playing some piano.
Mm-hmm.
Does it actually make noise?
I wish it did. That would be awesome.
I don't know. They're getting wild with these Legos these days. It wouldn't surprise me if it could.
I know, right? So let's see. The last thing here, I think, is showing me how to put them all together. Yep. Okay. So piano goes on this side. The horn player goes on this side.
They just lock in?
Yeah, they just lock in.
Okay.
If I can get it to actually connect. There it goes. Bass player goes up here. And the drummer goes down here.
Nice.
And there they go.
Phil, I didn't realize this entire time that your foot has been on camera.
It's trying to get some extra views.
It is.
Well, it's more subscribers. Yeah.
I don't know what I just knocked down, but okay.
I don't know.
My actual foot hasn't been on here because the box is blocking it, but that is my calf.
I saw some toes in there.
Okay. Before we jump into these last two questions, because again, I've got the quartet here. Everything is done on this. Guys, I've got a real treat for you. Only thing is I got to take it apart, and that's been kind of my thing here. But, ladies and gentlemen, my next build.
Bananas?
One banana.
Is bananas. Lego banana. No, ladies and gentlemen, my next build is the USS. Well, not the USS, but the Orca and Jaws.
All right.
Nice.
Which again, I've got to actually take it apart. But like Jaws is missing his his tail right here.
Oh, poor Bruce.
He doesn't know where it is. Dunno. Dunno.
Dunno, 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 dunno. I don't know. So I'm actually going to lay this out. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. And like parts of the Orca are like completely like gone. The mast is like broken down.
Have you not seen the end of Jaws? That's how it happens.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be accurate.
Fuck. But like they're actually in here though too. Like it's fucking great. Like it's actually gonna be a fucking full on Jaws build here.
Nice.
Oh.
We're hunting this fucking great white.
Porkers. You hunting porkers?
Nice.
So yes, again I got to take it apart, but this is what I'm going to be building, starting to build next week.
Sweet.
And the shark obviously still looks fake.
What?
Oh, it's real.
That's not what Carl told me. He said it was real all the time. I mean, some of it was real.
Coral. Here's the mask. I was like, where the fuck did the mask go? It's right. Whole fucking thing fell. All right, let's get Ann back on the screen here. Ann, next question. What's next for you?
What's next for me? I'm really excited about this new web series that I just signed a contract for. I can't go into too much detail because, you know, NDAs and whatnot. But I can tell you that we're going to be filming that in October, late October, early November. And as soon as that is available, yeah, I'll be posting all the links on that. Also, I have a couple of productions that I don't quite have premiere dates yet, but keep your eyes open for Mother Wound and The Live-In. So those are a couple that are going to be released and should be available on different streaming platforms here within before the end of the year.
Awesome. Can't wait.
It's because Ann is finally going to be in a Blumhouse film, so she can't talk about it.
I'd love to be in any Blumhouse film except Five Nights at Freddy's.
Right. No, it's the web series is just an independent production company. They've already got some of this stuff shot, and they're trying to put something together. And you know what? I'm not gonna tell any artist, no, you've got a stupid idea. You know, I'm gonna, even if it's a big budget production or tiny little micro thing. If you've got a dream and an idea, let's do it. Let's roll it.
Awesome.
So,
I love that attitude. I really do.
Yeah. They had enough dream and determination to come up with a budget. All right, I'm on board.
Yeah, budget's really hard to do sometimes.
Right. And I've worked like the youngest director I ever worked for. I think he was 12, 14. I don't know. He was a teenager that he wanted to enter a piece into a film festival, and so he got his parents were supervising the whole thing. They were putting out the casting calls and whatnot and screening everything. And they said, "Now I want you to understand that this is a kid." I'm like, yeah, I was one of those ones. It would have been great if I had somebody that wanted to actively participate and do movies with me when I was a kid.
It's like I had one of those. I was one of those once. It wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah, I like that story.
Well, like 5 years ago, I was a kid.
Well, the 90s is only 10 years ago, so yeah.
I still feel like that. I still feel like the 90s was. I still feel like the 80s was only like fucking 20 years ago. God, we're old.
But you know what? But this kid, he wrote the screenplay, he shot it, he directed it. he has a complete product that he had a vision and he executed it, and it's called The Forgotten Code. It's up on YouTube, or it's on YouTube. And you know what? I don't know many people that have done anything. I know more people that haven't done as much as he has than have. So go for it. Shoot your dreams. Do it.
I love that. So where can everybody follow you? Where can they learn more about Anne Renee Olsen and everything she's doing?
So I'm on IMDb as Anne Renee Soychak. That's my performance name. Gotta give homage to the family. No sons in my entire family line, so they gotta memorialize the name somehow. So that the internet's gonna take care of that for me.
There you go.
So I'm on IMDb, Instagram at Loosed Arrow. That's me. Arrow, sharp, deadly, unstoppable once loosed. And I'm also on Blue Sky also.
Awesome.
That was a lot of alsos.
Also, I'm on Facebook and MySpace, and
I forgot about MySpace. You can find me on Facebook as well, Anne Renee Olsen. Just a girl trying to make some art and reaching to make her dreams come true.
There you go. I was gonna make an OnlyFans joke, but that only works for us. So.
Also,
you know what? No, that is one question that I get frequently. Is that can you see my boobs anywhere? No. I have kept my clothes on and throughout my entire career. There are no pictures of my boobs on the internet. They don't exist. This is fake news.
It's fake news. You can't see my boobs anywhere.
There's no boobs.
Well, actually, you can see the only boobs all over the fucking place. But I mean, like, that guy's moves are terrible.
Yeah, no, and actually, staying in this industry and not putting myself in those sorts of positions has been
especially in indie horror.
Exactly.
Whoa. Hey.
Can be done.
People haven't even kissed in one of our horror movies yet. So.
I'm just saying, in indie horror, boobs show up in indie horror a lot.
Blood, breasts, beasts.
More than you realize. And the stories behind it are generally not good.
Typically that is, especially like, I don't want to hate on indie horror, but I'm just saying, like, there tends to be the thing. Tends to be a lot of bad horror movies, or like movies where it's like, okay, well, we know this is not going to do well. Put some tits in it. We'll watch it just for titties.
Trust me, I watch, as you know, I watch a lot of indie horror, for the shows and stuff like that. But my wife goes, "How much do these people get paid to be in this movie?" I go, "Nothing." He's like, "And they're fully naked for $0." Yep.
I just realized this was still in the box, but
nice.
I don't remember his machete being more than 3/4 his size.
I know, a really big machete.
That's a little intense. Did he still have Victor Crowley?
I know. It's probably because Lego only makes one size Lego machete, so it's just like, just give him the big ass fucking sword.
It's because if they gave him puny knives, that people would go, "You call that a knife?
You call that a knife?"
Yeah.
All right. And we appreciate you coming on today.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, it was a shit ton of fun. We talked a lot of horror tonight, as we should, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't talk enough horror with people, especially on our show. Well, Graveyard does, but I mean,
The thing about horror, the reason I love horror so much is, no matter how crappy of a day you're having, if you got fired, you caught your partner cheating, your car broke down, and you walked home in the rain, you turn on a movie and you see someone get their head ripped off, suddenly your problems don't seem so bad.
How's that not a country song?
That's a feel good movie. Movies like the Notebook, they set the bar way too high. We need to take those standards and lower them down there to reasonable expectations of things happening to people that we can actually overcome. I can do better than
Lower
that.
your standards, and everything will be okay.
Well, Phil, what was one of our 2 movies for our first April 1st podcast? Do you remember?
For
The show.
For
Our first
our show?
April. No, the Mostly Pilot Night. We did a horror movie reviews for April 1st, our first one. And it was The Notebook and Sleepless in Seattle. We couldn't think of two more terrifying movies of all time.
That's right. It was The Notebook and Sleepless in Seattle. Oh my God. I was about to go and pull it up. I was like, what did you guys review in April? I remember the episode.
Scariest movies I've ever seen.
Terrifying.
Oh God.
Country horror, new genre music. I don't disagree.
New country horror would be country metal exists and it's all fucking awesome. I'm sorry, not country metal. Horror metal exists and that's pretty fucking awesome.
There's country metal.
Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah.
Ice Nine Kills is he introduced me to Ice Nine Kills and now I fucking listen to them nonstop. You know what song is on rotation a lot for me when it comes to Ice Nine Kills? Hold on. Where is my playlist? And you're gonna appreciate this because the song that I love the most from them is also something that you would fucking appreciate.
All right.
Where the fuck is my playlist at? Right there. And I'm probably going to the gym after this, so I'm probably gonna listen to it too.
Nice.
Where's Ice Nine Kills? The American Nightmare.
Yep.
Nice. I had a feeling. I'm like,
that is one of their best songs.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
American Nightmare is like on rotation in my gym playlist, and it's like we just spent an entire like 30 minutes talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, and now we're talking about fucking horror metal, and it's like, oh, there we go, American Nightmare, which is a fucking song that is about Nightmare on Elm Street. So.
It's about that guy right there.
It's a sign. That guy. That fracking guy.
This fucking guy over here. You see this fucking guy? This fucking guy.
If I ever have one negative to say about Ice Nine Kills, and Spencer, if you ever answer me and come on the show, I'm sorry, but they do too mainstream horror for their songs. I want them to do deeper cuts.
Okay. You know what I wonder is if he ever comes on the show and you ask him about that, and he's like, "No, we have songs written, we just haven't done them."
Like extra.
Well, and that's the thing. It's you just make an album. It's called Deeper Cuts.
That would be dope.
A really obscure horror.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because okay, so the album that comes off of, Silver Screen, right? So I mean, like the theme of that is like mainstream horror films.
Yes.
So it's kind of like you're gonna go with mainstream horror films because the Silver Scream, you know, you go with that kind of thing. But I mean, exactly what you're saying. If you do something that is like the theme is deep cuts, then you can go and do some fucking crazy, like fucking mind-bending metal, like do some crazy ass metalcore shit, and fucking have it be like the most crazy fucking B-side horror movies.
Oh, I want them to do Basket Case or Frankenhooker.
Ooh.
Speaking of Frankenhooker,
I know. Or go into
comes on the show.
I know. Or you get into capitalism and talk about the stuff.
Ooh.
Like the capitalist nightmare.
Just keep eating it. It's good stuff.
Oh God. All right. Well, Graveyard,
Yeah.
let everybody know where they can find you, sir. We've already been talking about it a little bit here, but tell everybody where else they can find you outside of the distance nerding sphere.
Yes, I am Graveyard, co-host of the Mostly Pod Out at Night, Mostly podcast.
They mostly
Pod.
at night. Mostly.
New episode was dropped an hour and 2 minutes ago, so make sure to go check it out and listen to it everywhere you get your podcast. I greatly appreciate it. And we just had an amazing show last night with people from the horror couple from Sledgehammer Horror that has many tens of thousands of followers on their YouTube that came on for an hour and a half last night. And we just nerded out about horror all day and all night. It was great. So check us out on all social media, Pod Out Night. Check out Conversations in the Void, and hopefully Whispers from the Deep is coming soon once I have guests actually booked for it. So check it out.
And book on the show.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys cover 3 and 4 in this one?
We did 1, 2, and 3, and this is 4, 5, and 6. The Tommy Jarvis trilogy.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, I was like, how come I didn't get a notification? And I go in here and I'm like, oh, there it is. It's all here now.
Oh, it's there.
No, you know what it is. I don't know why it has it set up this way. I had it set for don't show me unplayed episodes.
Oh.
But yeah, how come?
Yeah.
What the hell? I'm confused right now. It's got it when I look at this. Oh, never mind. There it is. It was showing me everything from like 1, 2, 3. And I was thinking because let me take you off the screen. I was thinking because when we were driving up the Pasco, I listened to the latest episode, and then I went and played the first episode because I never actually listened to your guys' first episode.
The first episode's very different.
Oh, very, very. It's no theme music and but I mean like the essence of everything was there. Also, Salem sounded more vibrant. It sounded like the world hadn't fucking brought him down yet.
It's very true. It was before I put him through all the shit movies.
Yeah. And then now it's like, okay, 400 episodes later, he fucking hates life. So
Oh, and make sure to follow me on Twitch at Graveyard Pilot at Night. Yes, I do Mario Maker streams during the day, my lunch break. Fridays is now Escape Rooms with Mezzo. We're doing my lunch break. And next month we have Silent Hill F and Chronos New Dawn coming out, and I will be streaming those as well.
that would be dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always fun watching your stream whenever I get a chance to. If I'm not on top of a ladder and at risk of falling off by listening to you guys play video games. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am, your boy Young Phil. Of course, we are on the road to 500, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is subscribe to us on YouTube if you are not already subscribed on YouTube. Once we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to be giving away all kinds of fun goodies. We've got all kinds of Lego and I'm going to be getting more kits and stuff like that once we do hit. We're about 20 followers away, guys. So, I mean, we're almost there. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Tell your friends about us. Again, if you reshare our links on our social media and you tag us in it, that gives you an extra chance to win the Lego kits once we do the giveaways and everything like that. So be ready for that, of course. If you want to discuss anything with us, you can connect with us on all the social media places. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. For some reason, we're still there. We should probably get rid of it, but we're still on Twitter. Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, Blue Sky, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and Mandels, the beard, Jamez's glasses, judging you for not subscribing to us on YouTube just yet. Of course, everything you should do will do for money, which is mostly shit himself every time he hears this.
Yeah, bitch.
There we go. If you would like us to break up with your girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out at the feet of Freddy Krueger himself, yelling, bitch! You can send us an email at distincensnerding@aol.com, and we will read it on air. That is it from us, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thanks and keep nerding together. We will see everybody tomorrow for some buzzer.
Yeah. Someone's Jeff Nerdy.
I believe we're playing Jeff Nerdy, or if Jeff Nerdy's not ready, we're going to be playing Jackbox Naughty Edition.
Yes.
Naughty edition.
Naughty Edition. So wieners are going to be on screen, and it's going to be weird.
They're
as long as they're not yours, I think we're all right.
They're on screen regardless of the Naughty Edition.
by wiener. Oh, wait, now, hold on.
Oh.
Where's the book?
Uh-oh.
There it is. There's a wiener for the screen.
That's a steamy wiener.
Yeah, it is a very steamy wiener. He is a very sad wiener.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the sad wiener.
Nobody does. Absolutely nobody does. Also, before I hit the credits here, ladies and gentlemen, you have a good night. Flared Bass.
Distance nerding.